Okay, for unit 9.3, what we're going to be working on tonight is circles. Okay, so we're going to be working on find the center and radius of a circle. This is nothing like what you did with circles in geometry. Okay, we're not finding lengths of anything. You're not doing diameter, anything like that. Okay, but we're going to do the center and radius of a circle. So first thing you need to know is that the general formula for a circle is they will always be written in x minus h squared plus y minus k squared equals r squared form. Okay, this is the general formula for a circle. This is a little bit reminiscent, hopefully that this reminds you a little bit of a parabola written in descriptive form. Okay, you also need to know that from this, the center, your center comes from h comma k. So basically all you have to do to find the center is change what's inside these parentheses. Okay, change the sign on both on whatever's with x and whatever's with y. Your radius is equal to the square root of r squared. So to find the center, we just change what's inside the parentheses. To find the radius, you take the square root of what's written on the right side. So for the first couple questions, I'm just asking you to find the center and the radius of the circle. So for number 1, if I give you the circle x plus 1 squared plus y plus 3 squared equals 4. I apologize, it should be x minus 1. Sorry. X minus 1 squared plus y plus 3 squared equals 4. And your instructions are going to be find the center, radius, and sketch. Okay, a couple of people asked me yesterday, and I don't remember if it was from this period, but people asked me what's the difference between sketch and graph. Okay, when we graph a line, we're graphing something because it is exact. We know exactly where it's crossing. If something asks you to sketch, it's more of a rough sketch, okay? There's probably 20 different things that we could find out about this circle. We're not being absolutely perfect in our drawing, so that's why it's called a sketch. Okay, that's the only difference between graph and sketch. We're just doing the best we can with the information that we have. Okay, so sketching is more of an approximation thing. The center comes from where? Center comes from the h and the k, right? So the center is going to come from the parentheses with sign changes. Okay, center comes from the parentheses with sign changes. So the center for this circle is what? We change the sign, and change the sign. What will my center be? Positive 1, negative 3. Okay, center comes from the parentheses with sign changes. So your center for this circle will be positive 1, negative 3. We have to change the sign. The radius comes from the square root of the number on the right side. So in this example, we're going to take the square root of the number on the right side is 4. So my radius is equal to what? 2. Okay, square root of 4 is 2. Then for our sketch, just make a really simple sketch. Okay, my center is at over 1, down 3. So over 1, down 3. Then what do you know about the radius? The radius is what in relation to the circle? The distance from the center to the outside. So the radius, we're gonna make guidelines basically for the radius. So in each direction, meaning up, down, left, and right. I'm going to move from the center, we're going to move 2. So I'm going to put a dot up 2, down 2, right 2, and left 2 of the center. Okay, so we're going to make kind of just little dots. From there, I want you to make a circle connecting those dots. So these are just guidelines, okay? Connect those dots with a circle as best you can, okay? Try to not make it like a diamond. So these are not straight lines, okay? Try to make them a circle. So technically, the radius is also 2 going to right here, but we can't really, like, I don't know where 2 is from the center, like if you're going kind of off on a diagonal. So you're just going to go up 2, down 2, left 2, and right 2. Connect those dots with a circle. That's your graph. Or that's your sketch. Anyone have a question on how I did that? Make sense? Okay, and then just make your circle the best representation that you can. Okay, how about if I give you the equation x squared plus y minus 3 squared equals 7. X squared plus y minus 3 squared equals 7. And again, I want you to find the center, radius, and sketch. Okay, find the center, find the radius, and sketch. Write it down. Let me see. No, you didn't. So if I'm trying to find the center, what is inside being squared with this x? A 0, right. If it helps you, you might want to put in that 0. So really this is it plus 0 or minus 0? Doesn't really make any difference, okay? The center comes from, change the sign and change the sign. So 0 comma what? 3, right? What is the radius in this equation? The square root of 7. Okay, now, in conic section, so for shapes, I want you to leave things in square roots. Okay, we're not using calculators for this, so you do not need to give me a decimal point for that. So if I draw this, your center is at 0, 3, so that means up or over 0, up 3. Your radius is root 7. So the reason that I need to know about what is root 7 is just so that I can make the graph. What is root 7? Okay, if you think about it, we know that root 1 is 1, root 4 is 2, and root 9 is 3. So root 7 would be where? In between 2 and 3. Okay? In between 2 and 3. So that means you're going to move approximately 2 to 3. Okay, so just for your guidelines, I don't want you to ever have to worry about knowing what root 7 is, but just so we can draw as close as we can of a sketch, you're going to move about in between 2 and 3. So from your center, you're going to put a dot in between 2 and 3 away. Does not have to be perfect. So from your center, you're going to move in between 2 and 3. Move up, down, left, and right. And put those guideline dots. Then connect them as best you can with a circle. They don't have to be perfect circles, but make the best you can drawing. Questions on how I did that? Just make the best sketch that you can. Obviously, if your sketch was like, your endpoints were way down here and way up there, like I would know that doesn't make any sense. Okay, so we're just approximating for the radius if you're moving anywhere. Questions? Okay. Next thing I want you to do, very similar. For the next part, I'm going to give you instructions that are going to tell you to give the center and radius of each circle. Give the center and radius of each circle. Okay, so and this is going to be for the next 3 examples. Okay, if I give you 3 times x minus 4 squared plus 3 times y plus 3 squared equals 27. 3 times x minus 4 squared plus 3 times y plus 3 squared equals 27. Now, if you remember correctly, my general rule for a circle was x minus h squared plus y minus k squared equals r squared. How is that different from this equation? Because there's coefficients, right? So a general rule for a circle is they do not have numbers in front. So before I can tell you what the radius and the center are, I have to get rid of those numbers in front. How do I get rid of those? How is this attached? By multiplication. So to undo it, you have to divide. So we're going to divide every single part by 3. Now, technically, I could put just one big bar here, but I'm going to write it under every single part because it's a little bit easier. Okay? So if these reduce away, you're going to end up with x minus 4 squared plus y plus 3 squared equals 27 divided by 3 is 9. Now from there, we should be able to just read out the center and the radius. Center is at what point? Change, positive 4, negative 3. Radius is at what? Radius is the square root of 9, which, yes, does simplify to be 3. That's our answer. Anyone have a question on how I did that? Yes?
How many examples are there?
8.
Will you use the rest of
Nope. Negative 4. Or, excuse me, number 4. X squared plus y squared minus 36 equals 0. X squared plus y squared minus 36 equals 0. If you look at my general rule and example number 4, what's wrong with this? The 36 needs to be on the other side. Okay, so if you add 36 to both sides, do you have to show this step? No. So I'm just going to show you exactly what we're doing. This would give you x squared plus y squared equals 36. Technically, if you need to, you can put these in parentheses. What is inside these parentheses being squared? Zeros. Therefore, what is my center of this circle? 0, 0. Okay, so your center is at the origin, 0, 0. And what is the radius of this circle? Radius is square root of 36, so radius equals 6. If you needed to, you could graph that, or you could sketch that, but I'm not asking you to. Okay, one more, just like this, number 5. 2 times x minus 1 squared plus 2 times y minus 1 squared equals 36. 2 times x minus 1 squared plus 2 times y minus 1 squared equals 36. Remember, you cannot have a coefficient in front of these, so how do I get rid of them? Divide by 2, right? Okay, if you divide by 2, we're going to get x minus 1 squared plus y minus 1 squared equals 36 divided by 2 is 18. Then to find our center, center comes from what's in the parentheses with a sign change. So your center is going to be at what? 1, 1. Okay, center is going to be at 1, 1. And then my radius is what? Radius is root 18. I do want that simplified, okay? I don't want it done on a calculator. We're not using calculators for this unit, but this can be simplified. What goes into root 8, or what does root 18 break down to be? 2 and 9. 9 breaks down to 3 and 3. So the radius is what? 3 root 2. Now, if, and this is just an if I asked you to graph that, where is 3 root 2? About what whole number is that? In between which two numbers? In between 4 and 5. Okay, you could look on the square roots chart. Root 18 is in between root 16 and root 25 that we know. So it's in between 4 and 5. Any questions on how I did that? Okay, last thing we're going to do today is we're going to go backwards, and I'm going to ask you to write the equation. Write the equation of a circle. So we're going to go backwards, write the equation of a circle with the following center and radius. Write the equation of a circle with the following center and radius. So we're going to go backwards. I'm going to give you the center and the radius, and you're going to write the equation. If I give you that the center is equal to 1, 4, and your radius is equal to 4. Okay, we need to plug into so if we're going to plug this in, the center is going to get plugged into. First part goes with x, second part goes with y, and the radius needs to be squared. So if I rewrite this, what is my actual equation? X minus 1 squared plus y minus 4 squared equals, really this is 4 squared, so 16. That's the equation of the circle. So you should be able to find the center and radius from an equation or write an equation given the center and radius. Same thing, I want you to write the equation of the center and, equation of a circle with the center and radius being center of -2, -3, and radius of 3 root 5. Write the equation given those things. So your centers, first part's going to get input into the x, second part's going to get inputted into the y. Radius needs to be squared. So x plus 2 squared plus y plus 3 squared equals, how do I do 3 root 5 squared?
Times it by 3.
3 root 5 squared is basically 3 root 5 times 3 root 5. So when you're multiplying with radicals, what do I do? Multiply the outside, so 3 times 3 is 9. Multiply the inside, so that's root 25. What does that become?
5.
9 times 5, so what is it actually squared? 45. Okay?
Why do you have to,
Why do you have to do what?
why do you have to do 25?
Well, you multiply what's inside. So 5 times 5 is 25. Or you could just write 5 times 5 underneath there and know that you have to take it out.
Oh, okay.
We're just multiplying two radicals together. Okay, and then the last thing we're going to do today for number 8 is I would like you to write the equation. Write the equation that would result. Write the equation that would result if the circle x squared plus y minus 1 squared equals 9 is translated. What does it mean for something to be translated? Shifted or moved is translated 2 units up and 4 units left. So we're talking about something being translated. So if we take the equation x squared plus y minus 1 squared equals 9, first I'm going to start with what are the important parts that I need to know here that I can get out of that equation. The center, what's the center? 0, positive 1. And also the radius, what's the radius? 3. So if I was going to draw this, okay, we would start at 0, 1, so over 0, up 1. Okay, the radius would be up 3, down 3, left 3, right 3. So you'd put your radius dots, or radius approximations, up 3, down 3, left 3, right 3. If you're moving something, which part am I concerned with moving? You move the whole part. or the whole thing. But what's the point that I'm concerned about moving?
Radius.
The center, right. Is the radius going to change?
No.
Is how big my circle is? That's not going to change. So the radius really isn't that important here. But the center is. So we want to be moving the center. So if we go from 0, 1 and move 2 units up and 4 units to the left. We're going to move 2 units up, 4 units to the left. What is my new center? If I label this point, what is my new center going to be? If you label this point right here. Negative 1, 2, 3, 4, comma, if I move up 2 from 1, that'll be up 3. So my new center is negative 4, positive 3. Now we're doing basically what we did in these past couple examples. You're given the center, you know the new center, and you need to plug it in along with the radius. So what is my new center?
Positive 4.
X plus 4 and y minus 3 equals, does the radius change?
No.
Radius doesn't change, so it is what it started with, 3 squared, which is 9. Okay, same radius. That is your answer. Okay, so translating is really just moving the whole equation, but what you're really concerned with is the new center. Okay, center is what you're concerned with. What you're going to be working on for homework is worksheet 3. It's in the packet that I gave you. Worksheet 3, you're doing numbers 1 through 20. Okay, anyone have any questions on this step? Now, I'm going to warn you guys. Today, hopefully this seemed fairly easy to you, right? Okay? Every single day we're going to do a different shape. When you do that shape, you're going to feel like, yes, this is easy. So like yesterday we did parabolas. Everybody understands them. Good, they're easy. Today we're doing circles. Everybody understands them. Good, they're easy. The difficult part of this unit is when we get to the review and we put all the different shapes together. So if you're doing just one shape at a time, it's very easy. But when you put all of them together at the end, that's when it becomes difficult. So please do not be frustrated if when that time comes, you're not understanding everything. Okay, because we're going to have to figure out what are the difference between circles and parabolas and ellipses and hyperbolas. But do this work, okay? It's very important that you get all this homework done, okay? Please, 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 because your STAR test is coming. Yes, sir.